I'm Katrina, and this is Sew & Tare. Today, we're going to learn about quail waterers. That thing right there. So if you just hatch baby quail, or let's say you have some in the incubator, there's some things you need to think about specifically about the waterers. Quail are known to drown themselves or get in the water and get all wet, and then they can't get dry again, and then they die because they're cold. So you really do need to, especially for the first week of their life, really do need to take measures to avoid them getting cold and wet and drowning. So one of those things that came to my attention, I think it was last year, is that mason jars has changed. So the water base that you want to get is called a quail waterer base. And it's a little tiny base. The chicken one goes out to about there, and that is too big. I mean, if you put marbles in it and stuff, it would be fine. But in general, this is the one that you want. You can use their, this is on a feeder right now, but you can use their plastic ones that fit these, or you can use glass. I prefer to use glass. But there's something that I noticed a couple years, or a year or two ago, I don't remember when it was. These mason jars have been updated. So if you're using an old jar, that's fine. I know sometimes mine get mixed up in the dishwasher and, you know, oh, that one I used for watering the quail last time, now it'll get used for canning soup, you know. But I've been making an effort to keep out the ones that fit this waterer, because the newer ones, like this one, you can have some problems with that. So the brands mean nothing on here. This is Ball, this is Kerr. It's the same company that own them. I'm guessing that it's exactly the same except for the printing of the brand name, but they're owned and operated by the same people. So what you want is one that screws on. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. Let's bring the light. I had to get a supplemental light. So you can see the top. I'll maybe put an arrow in here, maybe. You can see the very top of the jar inside, and it's just a little bit in, right? So that's okay. What you don't want is the same lid, or same water. This happens on all of them. Is this jar, you see how many turns it took to get in? It took a little more to get in, and that's on there. Exact same tightness as the other one. And let's see if I can get you a visual. I don't know if you can tell, but that entire hole is covered by the rim of this jar. That entire hole is covered by the rim of this jar. So what that means is that when you turn it upside down, you fill it, you screw it on, you go and you turn it upside down, you give it to your birds, they're not getting water. I had this happen to me out in one of my quail mobiles this summer. It must have been this summer. Because I did not check it, and I just, oh yeah, it's another jar, it fits the base, so let's put some water in it and go in there. And they didn't have water, and they were pissed. So make sure and check that. And some people say that they are able to back it off, and at that point it will leave, you know, there's enough gap. But I would be afraid to pick it up and have it all splashed down, you know, if you went too far. So, but that is one workaround that you could do if you already have it. If not, maybe open up some of your older canned goods and see if those jars fit. And so that was surprising to me. And so that's one thing, is to make sure that your jar fits your base. And ideally you would have a base like this or similar that they can't drown in. But these babies are so small. Okay, the ones behind me, these little dots, these were hatched out on Monday and Tuesday, and it is Thursday. So, and they're still tiny. They're teeny tiny. So what you want to do is you want to get some marbles or some rocks or something. And in my hand, I have some little tiny marbles. They all used to be blue. My suggestion is just to get the clear ones because I didn't know the blue stuff came off. But this is what I've been using, this is what I have. And these are smaller marbles. They're very small, and they fit this really well. So I got these from Michael's. I don't know who else sells them small like this, but I'm sure somebody does. But the regular marble size is going to be too big for this. So what you do is after you put the water in it, and I put a splash of apple cider vinegar in for the first time they get water, and then after that I don't do that. So screw it on, make sure, so you can make sure from here. I would make sure with it empty first that you can see that hole. Flip it over, and then you start adding your marbles. So these go in really easy, they fit in really well, and it allows them to get to the water, but at the same time not get in so far that they drown. And I know it sounds a little bit ridiculous with something, something this small, but it is definitely, it is an issue. It can be an issue for your babies. So I do this for a week. Some people do it for 2. I've found that they don't really need the marbles in there after the first week, but totally up to you. This is what I do. Some people do nothing and have never had problems. Some people have problems right away, and I've not had this problem because I've always done it this way. So that is my advice. So 2 things: check your jars, and check your marbles. Make sure you have something in there. It doesn't have to be marbles, could be little rocks, little pebbles, that would be fine too. But that will save your babies. Look at this silly one.
Step number 3 is to make sure your water is level. If it is not level, one of 2 things might happen. 1, the water might not come out because the holes is too steep, or lots of water will come out and it'll empty into your brooder. Both of those are not good, so it's good to check.
Sometimes they get food in it, but they'll eat it, and if it gets too gunked up, you just need to dump it out and wash it out and put it back on, put it back in.
For the first week, I feed on the floor. It creates the least waste, and they end up eating it all. If you wanted to, you could elevate your waters, like on a piece of wood or something. It's an idea.
That will save your babies, and you'll be a happier quail parent, and they will be a happier quail baby. Alright, so please share this with people who you think would appreciate it and need it, and maybe are first timers, and I wish you well on your journey. Thank you. Have a good day.